Okay. All right. I think we're a go. So, Carla, do you have your headphones on?
I do. Is it playing out here?
No, someone was getting an echo from my voice.
Yeah, I hear an echo too.
Doesn't seem to be from Seth.
I can mute to make sure.
How about now? We getting any echoes? Seems better now.
I don't see. I don't hear anything.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll just keep going. So, where we last left off, yeah, that's pretty loud.
yeah, I think somehow that's me, and I don't know why. So
It's a little
let me try and
strange.
figure it out. I'm gonna, try and unplug and plug it back in.
Dan hasn't moved in a while, so. Oh,
I'm
there you
still
finally
here, I
moved.
guarantee. I just, muted it. And
Yeah, I got
Well,
a.
you were frozen for whatever reason there, so.
Yeah.
Seth, what were you saying?
As I say, if the echo's a problem, I'll just mute a bunch. I don't know if you guys are still
Yeah, I
hearing.
guess we'll just. Let me just echo, echo. No, it seems like it's gone. We'll just
okay.
try to be mindful for it. Oh, there it's back. So, so the where we left off was Providence proper had been cleared. Uh, that it doesn't. It's not you, Seth. So the meet to speak about the next project or the next assignment. Uh, we'll begin with the next evening. So, what would, as the sun sets on a rather quiet Providence, what would Rufus like to do?
Well, unless there was any directives to, stay put, I think he would try and stretch his legs early. The previous night was pretty exhausting, and he'd like to try and feed for a little bit before the meeting.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a feeding roll?
Yeah.
We'll just say it's. I think he does it. How does he feed again?
Usually tries to, use a little, pick up or, beat down if he sees, you know, a mugging. But
Like,
so I think usually he winds up picking people up because you don't really walk into, crime situations all that often.
true enough. Go ahead and give me a charisma plus subterfuge,
Yeah.
or I guess depending on how he goes about it, might change that if you want to adjust the roll somehow.
No, charisma plus subterfuge is pretty much what he's been using standard.
All right, go for it
So,
then. It's not particularly high. It's only fives.
okay, so I think I got my successes for my two blood.
Yep. You got your two blood without any issue for the first hour. Did you
Yeah.
want to do any more, or is that okay? Go ahead and roll again.
Yeah, I'll roll again. Let me get a second hour in. I think he's enjoying the human contact and stretching his legs.
And the meeting wouldn't necessarily be early, so you would have an hour or two, especially for someone who gets up as the sun sets.
Yep. So yeah,
And that's enough to get another two.
excellent. So, and after that, he'll probably, take a leisurely walk back to make sure he's not late.
Okay. What would the other two like to do as they awake?
I'm
Damien?
definitely gonna have to feed.
I'm.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try to make a friend though. Go out and kind of talk my way out in the nightclub or something.
Okay. Very much the same roll, charisma plus subterfuge, or if you want to adjust it based off of something else that you're doing. What did you say, Carla?
I'm having a lot of hard time hearing you guys. You're cutting in and out. Is anybody? Okay.
I'm not having any
Um,
problem with cutout, just lag.
Yeah, it's a bit laggy, but I think you seem to be the worst of the bunch. Everyone seems to be a bit behind, like a little like 3 second delay, but I don't even really see you move. You talk, right? And then it's at least a good like 3 to 5 seconds before it actually catches up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Damien got enough successes for his 2 blood. Is that going to be enough, or going to keep going?
I'm gonna keep going just a little more because I only had like 4 left over from last night, or I guess 3 when I woke up. So
Fair enough.
2 would
Right.
be
Right.
5. Yeah, 5 out of 20.
That's probably not a good ratio.
No. I will keep at it. Yeesh.
Uh-oh. I totally lost your video, so I don't even know what you got. I assume you probably got at least one.
I got 2 1s, 2 7s, a
Okay,
9,
finally caught
a 10,
up.
and a 6.
Yeah, yeah. So even with those ones, you have plenty. So you get another 2 without any issue.
Alright. I guess I'll head to the meeting after that. I'm not really worried about
Okay.
getting thrown into the mix of something tonight. At least we hope not.
And what's Natalia doing?
I was trying to figure out, am I in New York or am I back in Providence?
Yeah, you're just back in Providence, no problem.
Yeah, I would hunt before the evening began. That's as well.
Okay. All
And
right, go ahead and give me the roll, please.
same roll, right? Subterfuge, charisma.
Mm-hmm. Yes, unless you want to try to adjust it by doing something else.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure I was rolling the right thing.
Yep. So you get 2 blood back. I don't think. Okay. So after a few hours of hunting and moving around the city, just taking some time to yourselves after the clearing, the meeting is to commence around midnight. So as Damien and Rufus show up, they're some of the first ones to arrive. Vincent would be around, but wouldn't necessarily be in the conference room waiting. It sounds like Damien actually might get there first, so we'll just have Rufus come in and as Damien's chilling in the conference room waiting. Unless he just didn't want to be the only one in there.
Nah, he'd be fine with that.
I'll wave and pull up a seat and wait for the meeting to start.
It looks like Grace is trying to join the hangout but can't.
Yes. I
Okay.
saw that as well.
So you two are. So you two are. Yeah, Grace isn't in the group anymore, so we'll just keep moving on. As my email had mentioned. So you two are just kind of like staring at each other and waiting for the meeting.
Well,
It's probably a little
I've been
awkward on
looking around
Rufus's
for
part.
Yeah.
Considering I have no emotional attachment to humans or dispatching people of our own kind at all. And he does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He doesn't look particularly
Okay.
comfortable, but he's just chilling. He's gonna wait.
Okay. So you two wait for a little while. Eventually, Rook will show up, and I guess Natalia will probably show up pretty soon after. You guys are the only ones that seem to be present currently.
Good evening,
Okay.
gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening. Have a good night.
It was. How was your night? How did the.
I believe it would be called a success.
I would concur with that assumption.
Excellent. Excellent. And with a minimum of noise, I assume.
Well, there was some noise, but
I think we kept the informational footprint to a minimum.
Oh, good, good, good.
And I believe we understand better what caused the Masquerade breach. The Toreador Primogen seemed to have wanted to bring this on.
you could say he just orchestrated the entire thing.
He asserted that there was no
Ah,
Prospero, though it's hard to believe anything that he may have said.
did he? Is he with us any longer?
No.
No, he's been dispatched.
See,
He
well, it
wished.
seems like a job well done.
I would agree.
I believe he probably deserved his punishment.
Hmm.
The rest
It's
of the
too
city.
bad so many other people.
Yeah, it's a it's a tragedy. Hopefully the next assignment will be a little bit less offensive.
Less what was that?
Offensive.
Mm. Yes, hopefully.
It's
I
been a
thought
long
perhaps
time since. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I thought perhaps you were going to say a little less bloody.
Well, I would prefer that, though. It may be too much to hope for.
Yes, perhaps.
Damien would probably be making an ass of himself right now by drawing his sword and running the whetstone down the edge.
Yeah, and
He's ready for more.
yeah, Rufus will just, ignore him. Very obviously ignore him.
Our job placement.
With a grumpy look on his face.
I'm afraid I'm not going to be conflict free.
No.
Well, after a few more moments of an uncomfortable silence, Lucin will enter. And normally she is a fairly controlled individual. Her walk, her manner of holding herself is always very controlled. And unlike any of the previous times you have seen her, her face is visibly darkened. She seems agitated, and even her attire, where is normally very not so much spotless, but pristine and a little OCD as far as what she wears. She is certainly wearing clothes that are much more comfortable and loose-fitting, and certainly aren't nearly as formal. As she comes in, she kind of looks around the room. Soon after, Raj and Apollo show up, and they kind of stand in the back while everyone else is seated. Lucin just waits for a few moments, and as if gathering her thoughts, and then looks to the group. It has come to our attention that a war party, a Sabbat war party, is outside of Manhattan. It is possibly one of the largest war parties that has been, at least within the last 100 years. It is certainly more Sabbat than were actually in Manhattan when we took it back. It seems Paulina, who was the Archbishop of New York for quite some time, has decided to come back and take what he believes is his. Being a La Sombra, I can only imagine the insult to his honor and his reputation that it was to lose the stronghold for the Sabbat in North America, and I believe he is hell-bent on getting it back. Most of the New England area has been having a great deal of Sabbat problems, and it seems that the sheer volume of Sabbat is such so that they are pulling humans from other cities as not to cause a problem within Manhattan. So it does seem that the Sabbat, she kind of actually takes a very deep breath, has changed their tactics and is now much more aware of human interactions, which will make it much more difficult to fight them now. But they do seem quite intent on taking Manhattan back. And this is our new assignment. We are to go to Manhattan and help the fledgling city fend off the Sabbat incursion. We will be receiving some support from other Archons, but from what I understand, they have gone on a bit of a killing spree before and coming to Manhattan, and it seems that our current Archon numbers have dwindled within the last week. Any questions?
When do we leave?
In a few hours. I've made the arrangements for everyone, given how short notice it is. So if there's any business left in Providence, I would finish it, as we will be in Manhattan within a few hours.
How were they able to find so many of our Archons? Was it open conflict, or do they appear to have intelligence?
It seems that they have some form of intelligence. That it has come to our attention, the Justicar Council, that a cadre of Sabbat elders met recently within the last year to take I guess to make some sort of directives to change the policies of the Sabbat, and now they have a much more hidden agenda. They have taken to being much more quiet, so I believe for the last year there's been Sabbat presence in many Camarilla cities, and we just have not noticed them as they have changed. Once we arrive in Manhattan, it will be our task to determine the true size of the war party and try to parlay with Polina and see if we can appeal to his sense of honor and direct the fight. If he is as concerned about the Masquerade as we are, we might be able to arrange a battle. He is from a time where that was commonly done, so I hope we can use that. Since there is no questions or concerns, we should be leaving. And she just kind of heads to the door and walks out. Raj turns to the group and says, she's just been kind of like that. I apologize. She's been little flighty. So here's the information that you guys will need, where to come, where to meet, and then here's your information when we actually arrive in Manhattan. If you know anyone in Manhattan, that's great. Get in contact with them. I think Natalia was just there. Is that right, Lady Archon? So she might be a good resource when we head back for anyone. Otherwise, I think we should. I'm just going to get going.
Yeah.
Yes.
He follows pretty quickly after her, and so does Apollo then. Rook kind of shrugs and gets up and. So you all head out. I take it no one does anything in particular in Providence before you all leave, or is that an incorrect assumption?
Well,
Pack my stuff and get ready to leave. My job's done
pack
here.
up. Rufus will make a phone call back to Boston. He had promised to head back there to help them as soon as he could, and that appears to be not very soon right now.
And bid. Okay. You said he's making a phone call, right?
Yeah, he just wanted
Yes, no?
to yes, check in with Boston, see if they're still standing. Let them know he's delayed, see if they need help.
Okay. You leave a voicemail for Nathaniel and Maggie, and to just get back with you once they get your message. But otherwise, I guess you guys will head on out and head to Manhattan. Now, I think Natalia is the only person, early vampire here, that's been to Manhattan with any regularities. Probably, is that correct? I think anyone's really any other characters. That was someplace they'd gone.
probably not.
No,
So-
not for Rufus.
So Manhattan had been, again, Sabbat controlled for a long time until the early 2000s, where the Camarilla managed to take it back from them. And so since then, it has been a city ruled by neonates, and it had a Nosferatu prince for a while, who was a kind of war prince. I want to say it's Calvaros, if I say it correctly. And now it is run by a Bruja. Her name is Katerina the Wise. And this Calvaros is back from the shadows to be her seneschal. And so as much as these elders have been the power behind the city, most of the city itself is neonates and quite young. So it has a sizable population of vampires, but again, they're not particularly well organized either. So you get kind of briefed on that information as you head to Manhattan itself. Natalia has met with Calvaros many different times, so her contacting him or having his contact information is not particularly hard. And then from there, you can likely get most of the rest of the city. The plane ride itself is quick, and you land at JFK within like a few hours. It is only about 1 o'clock when you guys land, and you are greeted with Escalades, these armored Escalades. As you kind of come out of the private airplane, there are these 5 Escalades with the chrome wheels and shaded windows. It is a very New York sight as you guys kind of pile out these Gould servants, apparently from Katerina the Wise. They're a sent escort to meet with her. So you guys disembark from the plane and head into these Escalades and head to this meeting with Katerina the Wise in Midtown. It is truly the city that never sleeps. It is buzzing with activity, even at 1 o'clock in the morning. As you move through Manhattan proper, you eventually make it to a convention center more on the west side of the city, overlooking New Jersey. I want to say it's the I can't remember which bridge that is now. But it's this new 21st century convention center meant for all of your corporate needs, and it seems that the Camarilla owns this center, and this is where they meet. And you're ushered in under a secure parking garage, led up through a secured elevator up to the top, and you're up on the patio gardens that is opened. The garden itself is pretty extravagant, lots of different trees and bushes. Excuse me. Plenty of places for people to sit and talk, but it seems to be closed this evening. There is no one around, and these drivers lead you through the garden to a small little area with like what assuming is sitting there as she has Majesty on, and she's a Middle Eastern woman in her early 40s, late 30s, and she has a veil, a very finely kind of chain length, some sort of precious metal veils over her face. As she dressed is much more traditional kind of Baltic state dress. And she sits very calmly and patiently as you 4 or 5 enter and come down. Lucen and her make formal greetings. They talk for a time. And after they get their pleasantries out of the way, Lucen asks, Prince Katerina, what do you know of the Sabbat currently? What are their movements, what has been going on, what do we need to know. As she kind of stands and addresses the group, and she says, so far, this Polina has done nothing but issue threats to me. He has appeared at a million different times, and this is how we have spoken. He is a master of obtenebration, so he moves in ways that I have not been able to detect. But these conversations that I have had with him give me the impression that the Sabbat are many, they are legion, and they are waiting for the right moment. He is waiting for something to happen, some sort of plan to be enacted. That part we haven't been able to deduce quite yet, but there is something that he has been waiting for before moving. Otherwise, the city itself is in turmoil. Most of the younger neonates and still of the city have not had to deal with a large Sabbat threat as such, and they are in a panic. There's only so many left who are veterans of the siege of Manhattan that fought the Sabbat at first, and many are here for opportunities that would have been difficult to find in other cities. And they were not interested in dealing with a Sabbat war party. So I do not feel we're going to have many volunteers or individuals interested in the glory that it will be, or could be, them fighting the Sabbat. Does anyone say anything or interject, or?
I'll stay quiet for now. Mostly because she's already mentioned that this obtenebration stuff just kind of creeps her out and she doesn't really understand it, so. If I'm like, oh hi, I'm from Clan La Sombra. Might go badly.
Okay. So, she continues, I'm hoping that now that your cadre of Archons is here, Lady Justicar, you'll be able to discern what the Sabbat are doing and what the numbers truly are. I've had a great deal of difficulty convincing any of my residents to aid me in this. Lucen bows and of course, yes, of course, Lady Prince, we will do what we can. And I know Natalia here has been in the city many different times, and Rook is from the city, so I believe we will have an advantage in discerning the Sabbats. True Murus. Excuse me. Katerina, well, to that work. I know that's a way of getting a hold of me if you need anything or have any concerns. And of course, my Seneschal is at your disposal as well. He could not be here tonight, but again, I believe your Nosferatu Archon knows how to contact him. May make more pleasantries and small talk and formalities, and the meeting is over pretty quickly. She goes in a different direction than you guys were escorted out, but you're escorted out back the way you came. The drivers are instructed to take you wherever you desire, and Lucen directs the group to a ratty, like, podunk Lucky Motel-esque place in Hell's Kitchen is apparently where you're staying, which is not a place. The drivers look a little surprised, but they take you there anyway, and you manage to get to the Lucky 8 Motel. It is your sleazy, pay-by-the-hour, pay-for-new sheets place. The spores and crack with the menagerie of human suffering.
I'm getting a lot of lag as well. I don't hear the first 3 or 4 sentences you say.
You guys there? I think I missed most of the description of that hotel.
Me too.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the hangout, and we'll try to restart it and see if it's any better.
Okay.